am so tired of living my life in survival mode because despite having 2 college degrees and making close to $80,000 a year, I still cannot keep up with the cost of living. I still cannot afford all of my bills every month and have to live paycheck to paycheck. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I am sacrificing my mental health, my time, and my energy to take care of people in their most vulnerable moments, and a lot of the time they do not make it. At the very least, I should be able to pay my bills. And for anyone who's thinking, well, you shouldn't have chose that job, somebody has to do it. And you know damn well if your loved one was critically ill, you would want somebody to take care of them, right? Something has to give. I cannot keep doing this.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Double salutations to our Yuakim out there laboring, the house of David, the elect, that's pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakah Quadash. And jumping right into this article here, this is from the wallstreetjournal.com. In the headline, it reads, Americans are falling behind on their bills. Americans are falling behind on their bills. Wall Street is alarmed. It says lenders see a rise in late payments on credit cards and auto loans, okay? People can no longer afford the American lifestyle. You know, this is the squeeze that everybody's feeling. Okay, just like the Jake woman was saying in the beginning of the video, despite having 2 degrees and making $80,000 a year, she still lives paycheck to paycheck, okay? She says she's so tired of living my life on survival mode, and that's everybody, okay? Everybody's barely making it. Everybody's just living to survive, man, okay? The American dream is just a dream, you know? People are feeling the heat. But anyway, before I even get into this article, you know, I was just thinking about the role of inflation and how it impacted the Roman Empire, you know, as we see the same thing going on today in Rome 2.0. Okay, America, it says here in this article from dailyhistory.org, it says, what role did inflation play in the collapse of the Roman Empire? All right, and I just want to make a quick point, because I was thinking about that, you know, the parallels from back then and what's going on, you know, today. Okay, so let me jump down. So getting straight to the point here, it says the basic concept of inflation was essentially the same in the ancient world as it is today, you see, because these same things happened before. This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9, and it reads, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. You see? Verse 10, it says, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have been already of old time, which was before us. So these things happened before. This is why the fall of the ancient Roman Empire parallels with America today and how this place is going out. You see? So it says the basic concept of inflation was essentially the same in the ancient world as it is today. In the simplest terms, it refers to the rising cost of commodities and the reduced value of the currency. All right, just like the Roman Empire, what did they do? They devalued the currency, the denarian, and it's the same thing they did with the American dollar. It's not backed by anything, no gold, no silver, no nothing. All right, they're just printing money out of thin air, you know, which brought down the economy. It says there are many causes of inflation, but the presence of excessive amounts of currency in circulation tends to be the most common catalyst for an inflationary cycle. In modern economies, inflationary cycles often happen when a central bank prints too much money, thereby lowering the value of the currency and raising the prices on commodities. The same thing you're seeing happening now. All right. This is James. All right, I was thinking about that. This is James chapter 5 in verse 1, and it reads, it says, "Go to now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you." Right? This is directed toward the rich of this world, the elites, okay, the bankers, you know, the elites of Esau. It says, verse 2, "Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten," going back to the fact of them just printing money out of thin air. You know, the Federal Reserve is responsible for just printing all of this money, which is bringing hyperinflation throughout the economy. This is why the price of living has skyrocketed. You know, the gas, groceries, right? This is why people are being destroyed through this inflation. This is why, like I said, the American lifestyle can no longer be afforded. You know, your riches are corrupted, your garments are moth-eaten. This is why the money is not backed by anything. You know, the dollar doesn't hold any value. You know, and then what you have right now, you know, you have a lot of these other nations that are rejecting the dollar. They're no longer using, you know, the American dollar because it's corrupted. You know, it says, "Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days." So the point is that, like I said, the parallels, what happened back during the ancient Roman Empire is the same thing that's happening in America now. You know, this is Rome 2.0. This is the revised Roman Empire. Okay, so it says, reading that part again, it says, "In modern economies, inflationary cycles often happen when a central bank prints too much money, thereby lowering the value of the currency and raising the prices on commodities." The situation was quite similar in the ancient world, but instead of printing money, kings and other leaders would add impurities to their minted coins, and that's what they did to the denarian. You know, they started taking the silver away, which brought down the value of the currency. You know, which resulted in hyperinflation. You know, it says the result was often that not only were there too many coins in circulation, but the ones that were being used were of little value due to their impurities. A situation like this took place in Egypt hundreds of years before the damaging inflationary cycle hit Rome, man. See, ain't nothing new under the sun. So this is what people are feeling today. Okay, it's the same thing all over again. All right, this is how you know that this economy is about to crash and burn, man. All right, everybody's feeling the heat. Everybody's feeling the squeeze. Everybody's complaining on how hard it is to live. You see? Let me get one more. Revelation, the 6th chapter here. This is Revelation chapter 6. Straight to the point here. This is Revelation chapter 6, verse 5, and it reads, it says, and it says, "When he opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, 'Come and see.' And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hands." The point, Revelation 6, in verse 6, it says, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, 'A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.'" And I was thinking about this scripture because, you know, going back during the time of the Roman Empire, the ancient Roman Empire, where it says a measure of wheat for a penny, you know, a penny represented, you know, a day's wages for work. And back then, you know, before, you know, the money was devalued, you know, it had buying power. You know, you could afford to live with with your daily wages, but it's not the same now. And because of the Roman Empire, like they did in the ancient world, they devalued the currency, which resulted in, you know, the inflation. Is the same thing that we see happening today. You know, you can't, you know, people working these jobs today, you know, it's hard for them to make their, it's hard for them to obtain their daily bread. You know, they can't afford groceries, you know, to make rent. You know, the buying power behind that dollar bill is not the same. You know, and it was the same thing that happened back in Rome. Right. So it says, It says a measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine, right? Because essentially, the Lord preserved the truth, and he preserved, the Lord's elect. All right. But that's the point, right now it's, due to the wages, in the current state of the money, you can't afford, your daily necessities you need to survive. That's why it's hard. That's why people are struggling. This is why people are complaining. You see? But I wanted to jump back to this article real fast. Okay? Because that reality is settling in on everybody, man. People are hurt. So let's jump down here. So it says signs that Americans are struggling to keep up with their bills are setting off alarms on Wall Street. Shares of consumer lending companies slid this past week after executives raised warnings about lower income borrowers who are struggling to make payments. And who is this affecting the most? All right, you Jakes, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and Hispanics. Okay. It says door remarks from banking executives at the Barclays banking conference rattled investors who were already on edge about the health of the U.S. economy, right? And that's the spirit. Let me get that too. Like it says here in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, the keepers of the house, right? It's Ecclesiastes 12:3. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, all right? The keepers of the house are the economists, the investors, all right? Wall Street, the people who watch the economy. They keep a watch on the markets, they watch where the economy is headed, and they're in the state of trembling because everybody sees that this place is on its way to collapsing. You see? It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, right? The lack of jobs. People can't find work. People complaining about not being able to find, real work, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, because we're in some bad times concerning this economy here, right? So it says investors have been on high alert for any clues that a recession is in store after 2 years of higher interest rates. The Federal Reserve is expected to start lowering rates at its meeting this coming week, but some investors fear that it might have waited too long, going back to what we just read. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, all right? These investors, these economists, the people who run Wall Street, they're in the spirit of fear. They're trembling. All right? They see what's about to happen, man. Okay? It says, reading on some more, it says here is what the bank executives are telling us about how people are faring. It says watching those credit card bills, right, which we know people are defaulting on payments, as we read, right? And you got all the statistics here. Jumping down, it says struggling with car payments, man. People, I saw an article about a couple of months ago. It said this was like the highest time of people getting their cars repossessed. People are, driving around with these new cars, but they can't afford the payments. Right? High ass interest rates. Right? You paying $1,000 a month, for a damn 2012 Honda. I'm just giving an example, man. Even so-called used cars are expensive as hell now. People can't afford nothing. It says struggling with car payments. The stock declines after a warning about car payments. It says Ally Financial Chief Financial Officer Russ Hitchinson said late payments and charge-offs on auto loans were higher than expected in July and August. Borrowers at Ally, a major auto lender, have been struggling with the cost of living and now are struggling with an employment picture that's worse, Hutchinson said. It says Ally share fell 18% on Tuesday and have yet to recover. Hutchinson comments worried investors, all right? Hutchinson comments worried investors because car payments are among the last bills people stop paying because they need their vehicles to get around, man. People are through. All right. So you get it. And this is what everybody's crying about. Everybody's crying out about, not being able to pay bills, not being able to make the rent, not making enough money just to survive in general in this place, man. So this is all prophecy. All right. The Lord said he said that matter of fact, let me get it real quick. Right. I'm going to get this one too. This is Isaiah 47. I had this pulled up here. Isaiah 47:7, it says, "And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it." Right? Because, it was a point in time where people were living deliciously here. All right. People really didn't have a care in the world. As long as they were able to eat and get around and do what they wanted to do, people didn't really, have any worries. But now, these things have changed. The Lord is removing the security from these people. Okay. He's removing the comfort. All right. People are in the state of panic right now. Okay. And that's what's happening, man. People didn't consider the latter end of this. I'm going to read that in NLT, Salakia. All right. Same verse, NLT, Isaiah 47:8. It says, "You said, I will reign forever as a queen of the world. You did not reflect on your actions or think about their consequences." Right? You didn't consider. Now look at you. Right? All those that trusted in the so-called American dream, it's failed you. Your security and comfort in Egypt is leaving. The Lord said that the mirth of the land would cease. Right? And we're going to get that too, because I wanted to add on. According to this article here, I have found this video too. This is about 6-7 months ago. This came out on CNN. It says, "Struggling millennial homeowner. I didn't need my degree." All right. And it's the same thing in a lack of better words, like this Jake woman was saying. She got 2 degrees and making $80K a year and still struggling, still finished,
Rach, we have $435 to last us till the end of the month. Okay?
What?
Actually, till February 4th.
That's even worse.
I know.
When we report on how great the economy is doing, do you feel that?
I don't feel it. I don't doubt that it's gotten better, but nothing necessarily feels like it really got easier on us. I don't feel like I'm getting a break anywhere.
The American economy looks strong. A robust job market, stocks near record highs, inflation cooling. But many people are not feeling the positive vibes.
I see $400 going towards my student loans, and I see $545 going for HOA, and I see groceries averaging about $150 a week. Sure, maybe for my wife's retirement portfolio, it might be looking great, but we need to get there first, right? On Saturday, we heard how MetLife.
Right. Matter of fact, that's money coming in, money going out. All right. This is Haggai 1:6. It says, "You have sown much, and bring in little ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to be put into a bag with holes," man. So the money that you get, it goes right out. Right? You can't save any money. You don't have anything for a rainy day. You don't have a nest. You see, and that's due to the curses, man. The money, the wages that you put into a bag is like putting it inside a bag with holes, right? You can't hold any money, and this is the state of everybody right now, man.
Stadium is preparing for the World Cup final.
Danny Navarro did not plan to be a TikTok creator.
If FIFA decided to sell tickets for the 2026...
That was not his goal when he graduated with a history degree on a scholarship from the University of Virginia and started working at a nonprofit.
I was at the $60,000 mark of my salary, and the only way that I was going to crack 80, 90 potentially was to get a grad school degree.
So Danny went back to school for a master's degree in public administration. This time, he had to take out student loans.
I had to take out $70,000 in loans, which is more than what I was making. And then right off the bat, having to pay that debt down.
Yep. Let me get that too. Baruch 3:8. All right. And this is clearly a Jake that's that they're speaking to, right? Baruch 3:8, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, right? We're in captivity here in Babylon, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, right? We would be subject to payments, bills, debt, all right, everything, according to all the iniquities of our fathers which departed from the Lord, our power, Yahweh Shemel Shai. So this is part of the curses here. This is part of the struggle, right?
And so it's almost like we're basically thrown into the hole, and right away we have to start climbing out of it.
Let's see here.
That was 8 years ago. And the promise that his college degrees would lead to a steady paycheck has not paid off.
So your first...
Yeah, and that's the American dream. You know, you go to college, you get this degree, you know, and then you come out and you get this, you know, six-figure job, you know, but that's not the case. You know, it's just a dream. It was all vanity.
Generation. And what was the dream for you? What was the dream if you went to college?
We would escape poverty. And, you know, for immigrants that are coming to this country, that's always the thing that they tell you.
Danny now juggles 3 jobs: soccer coach, tutor, and TikTok video creator.
I don't have a full-time salary job since November of 2022. And it's not without trying. I've actually applied to about 100 jobs. If I'm not
100
mistaken.
jobs.
I would say about in the past year and change. And a couple of them have gone into the final round, but just unfortunately not been selected.
Yup. What's that, Isaiah? Let me get that too. That's Isaiah 19. You know, this is what people are experiencing, you know, nationwide, man. You know, Isaiah 19. In 15, it says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt. All right. People can't find a stable job. People don't have stability, you know, when it comes, you know, financially, you know. It says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. All right. So this is prophecy here.
Look outside. Come here. Look outside. My life is very different than what I envisioned it would be. What do you see?
Rachel Gambino and Garrett Mazzio followed the roadmap that previous generations said would spell success. Go to college, get married, work hard, buy a house, start a family.
That's the American dream. That's all of it summed up. All right. And how did that pan out for most people? You know?
This is the American dream, but at what cost? So we have all of those things and we appreciate every single one of those things, but we think about how we could lose those things very quickly. If one of us loses our job, we're in a not good place.
There you go. See, just like that, it could change just like that, man. People are on edge, right? They call it economic uncertainty, man. One person loses their job, everything else can go under. These are the times. Right? So you get it. Let's grab this scripture. You know, just want to make one more point. Isaiah 24. And I want to read that in the NLT. Let's pull that up too. So this is Isaiah 24, verse 7 NLT. And it reads, it says, the grapevines waste away, and there is no new wine. All the merrymakers sigh and mourn. And part of the mourning that's going on is that people are complaining about the price of living. You know, the commodities, the groceries, gas. You know, there's a great cry amongst the people, man. How they're going to make it, how they're going to survive. You see, all the merry-hearted do sigh. It says verse 8, it says, the cheerful sound of the tamarines is stilled. The happy cries of celebration are heard no more. Everything, the Lord has literally dried up the spirit of America, man. You know, when it comes to these holidays and these celebrations, all that stuff is dead now, man. You know, it says the melodious chords of the harp are silent. Gone are the joys of wine and song. Alcoholic drink turns bitter in the mouth. The city rives in chaos. Every home is locked to keep out intruders, right? And that's heavy too, because of what's going on as I did the lesson the other day, going into this migrant crisis, you know, the invasion of America. You know, what are they doing? You know, robbing people, breaking into homes. You know, people are losing their minds. You know, the love of many shall wax cold, as the scriptures say. You know, it says, verse 11, mobs gather in the streets crying out for wine, you see, and that's another point, you know. People are crying out like they want to know answers. They want to know why things are the way they are. How come they can't get by? Why is it so hard? When is this going to stop? When is it going to change? And the scriptures say that Babylon cannot be healed. You know, it says, mobs gather in the street crying out for wine. Joy has turned to gloom. Gladness has been banished from the land. You see, it's the Spirit of the Lord. All the comfort and security is gone. You know, people don't know. People don't know if they're gonna make it. You know, nothing is guaranteed. You know, that leads to that fear and uncertainty. Gladness has been banished from the land. It says the city is left in ruins and its gates battered down. All right, which is the point. So people are going through it all around, you know, especially, you know, you Jakes, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and Hispanics, you feeling it the most, you know, but this is all part of prophecy of what? Of the economic downturn of this place. This place is on its way out of there. All right. We know it. Okay. Because, hey, it's all about what? Getting ready to push this MOTB. So they're going to have to, you know, crash the system, you know? So all the writing there is there on the wall. You see? So I pray that this quick lesson was edifying, man. It's going down. Every day is a step closer to the destruction of Babylon, man. So I want to close it out by giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, and Shalom. Shalom.